Hello, Retro Crew. Today we're talking about video game adaptations. I'm Matt.
I'm Brian, and we're the Retro Sons. We're going to be talking about both movies that have been adapted to video games and video games that have been adapted to movies.
Yeah, there's quite a few. I mean, I brought a pretty good amount of movies here.
Yeah, and I got all these games, and then there's even more. They were doing it all the way back at the Nintendo. I think it even went back to Atari, actually.
Yeah, I think so. They had Star Wars games and stuff for Atari.
Right. And some adaptations are good, and some are pretty bad.
Yeah, they used to be pretty bad.
Yeah.
Like the original Mario movie.
Oh.
That was horrible.
So bad.
And there's all sorts of them. I mean, Uncharted, Resident Evil. There's Doom with The Rock.
Oh, yeah.
So many.
Let's just look at these. I've read a lot of them. Tomb Raider. How could I forget that one? Assassin's Creed. That one was bad.
Oh, that was awful.
Hitman. Max Payne.
The list goes on.
Some of them are okay, but they still get critics disliking them or just fans not liking them. Like a lot of these games, like I like Superman Returns, both the movie and the game. Revenge of the Sith, that one I think I can't play anymore. Spider-Man 2 was probably one of the best.
Yeah, that one was really good.
But as you can see, there's a lot of them here. A lot of James Bond ones.
Man, there's a lot that we don't have either.
Huge deal.
I want them to start making James Bond games again.
Yeah.
I know you said they're making one, but I haven't heard anything about it at all, other than from you.
Yeah, no.
Not that I've looked into it for myself, but...
There's nothing to know, just that one teaser trailer where a bullet gets loaded into the gun and then fired off or something. They say James Bond game is in the works, basically.
Is that all?
Hopefully. But GoldenEye, that was probably one of the best games that was made from a movie.
Yeah.
And nowadays, that one's kind of hard to play.
Right. Then you get some where they try to copy the likeness, like Pierce Brosnan and Denise, but then sometimes they don't use their likeness, like the Bourne. I have a Bourne game, which I was thinking of when I did this. I didn't bring it in. But it's basically just the Bourne identity, but without Matt Damon.
Not Matt Damon.
No.
They probably didn't want to get the rights or something to it.
Yeah, probably.
Which you'd think if they have the rights to make the game, they'd have the rights to use Matt Damon, but...
You'd think so, but...
I don't know if he'd have to sign off on that or not.
Yeah, and I don't know if their intention was to tie it into the movie or just use the popularity of the Bourne movies and try to make it their own type of thing.
Probably that.
Like some of the James Bond games have done.
Or like Insomniac did with Spider-Man, they made their own story.
Right.
They went their own way, and it came out great.
Oh yeah, and Wolverine, which is still forthcoming, which I can't wait for.
I can't either. And then there's the Mario movie, which we don't have, but we went to theaters and watched it, and that one's really good.
Mm-hmm. And the Zelda movie they're working on.
Yeah, that one I'm most excited about.
I hope they don't go with Tom Holland. All the thumbnails you see have Tom Holland.
Yeah, I know. I really hope they don't.
What is Holland?
I hope they kind of go with a no-name actor.
Yeah, that'd be best. We have that video of people we think would be good.
Yeah.
We can do a link to that.
Yeah, we'll put a link up here.
Your turn to do that.
Huh, I've never done it before. You're going to have to help me with that.
Good luck.
When they're adapting games to movies, it's hard probably because do they follow the plot of the game or do they try to make it their own type of thing?
I don't know. I mean, the Tomb Raider movie, the new one with Alicia Vikander, that one followed the game pretty close.
Yeah, and then you have Uncharted, which didn't at all follow. It took from all four of the games, but it didn't follow any of the storylines.
Yeah, it kind of made its own thing.
Yeah. It's set up for, if they do another one, it looks like they're going to do the first game, but...
There's just so many options.
Then
that movie, I think they just tried to ram too much into that one.
Yeah.
I don't know. We do have a video on that, too. We'll put that up above.
Well, just look at it.
So we've talked about a lot of these movies and games already.
Yeah, we just wanted to go on a tangent about all the different adaptations, because I was thinking about it the other day. I wanted to play the Bourne game again, but then I didn't. So
yeah,
this is my outlet for that, I guess.
Yeah.
And I was gonna say, going back to, did they follow the story of the game or do they just make their own? No matter which path they take, I think they're gonna get someone angry at them, like, oh, they should have followed the game. This is what they should have done. Or
Well, it's hard to put an entire game into a movie.
yeah.
Oh, I didn't bring The Last of Us.
Yeah, I was just about to say The Last of Us did it perfectly. Like, it followed the game almost verbatim.
Well, they made that a show, so it could be more drawn out and longer. Right. And like a 2-hour movie, it's hard to fit an entire video game into that.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm hoping with the Zelda game, they don't or movie, I mean, they don't try to ram too much into one movie.
Yeah. Zelda's easy, though, because it's like, everyone tries to figure out the timeline. This could be anywhere on that. And I know you don't like the timeline theory, but I mean, they could just make up a story, like especially if they're working with people who made Zelda games, like writers and stuff for those. They could just do their own.
Yeah, but how would they make like 8 dungeons or something?
I don't know.
It's harder than you think, I think.
I know. I'm just saying they don't have to follow any video game story.
Yeah, they can make their own story for it easily enough, but still, how would they?
Yeah, they probably have to water it down some, like you said, the 8 dungeons or.
Yeah, there's no way they're going to be able to do that.
No.
But then if they do that, like if they make it a series, how many dungeons and how many movies are there going to be?
Oh, so many!
Yeah, that's a lot to think about.
Yeah, I'd like to see more than one movie though.
Yeah, me too.
There's definitely potential for it. If they get the actors and everything all lined up and get everything going with the first movie, then I think sequels will be pretty easy for it.
Yeah, but again, those types of movies, it all depends on how the first one does. And Uncharted, it looks like like I said, they wanted to do more, but that one didn't perform as well as they'd like, I don't think, and nobody liked it too much. So are they gonna try to do another one? It was the same with Avatar: The Last Airbender. They tried making a movie series, and now that movie, almost everybody hates it and pretends it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
And they were doing it as a TV show on Netflix, which we mentioned before too. But
yeah. Then there's all the Harry Potter games and movies, and they're starting that up as a TV show now.
Yeah.
Like a new.
Yeah, there's like a 3-layer, 4-layer thing, because it went from books to movies to games to a TV show.
Yeah, so that goes everywhere.
They're everywhere!
Adaptations, I would imagine, would be hard to do, because you got a lot of fans of the thing. You're trying to reach like video game players with that, and probably try to sway them to see the movie.
Yeah, and then you gotta get people that don't play video games excited for a movie.
Yeah.
Of a video game that they don't play.
Right.
Because they're trying to get them involved in buying the games and everything.
Right.
But no matter what they do, people aren't going to be happy.
Yeah, that's probably why they don't perform as well. I mean, Resident Evil, I'm looking at that now. They made 7 or 8 of those movies.
Assassin's Creed, they could have done that one way better.
They could have done that way better.
That was bad.
It's so bad.
Like, a lot of times they bomb and they are horrible because the way they go isn't the way anyone would expect.
Right.
At all. They make them so far from the game that it's boring and lackluster and not good.
Yeah. I tried not to think about that one until you mentioned it here in this video. I forgot it existed, and I watched it to do a video last year sometime.
Yeah. And there's another one I was going to talk about that does it perfectly. Oh, the new Tomb Raider.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's kind of like the video game, but it goes enough away from it. So it's not like following every single step in the game.
Yeah.
And they made it exciting and good. They made it its own thing, but it kind of followed the story of the game.
Right.
But the pacing of it was perfect.
Yeah, there's still no sequel to that one.
No, not yet. No.
It probably
won't be, I wouldn't think. It's been so long now.
Yeah, 7 years or so, probably, I want to say.
Oh, but the Angelina Jolie ones were horrible.
Yeah.
And they made 2 of those. Like, how did she get 2 movies and Alicia Vikander only gets 1?
Not fair!
The way things are these days, I guess.
I guess. I don't know, maybe I don't like, I just said her name too.
Jolie?
Yeah, Angelina Jolie. I don't like her. That's probably why I don't like those movies.
It could be why.
But I don't know. Daniel Craig's in one of them, so.
Yeah, that's true.
He's in the second one.
Gerard Butler is in the first, isn't he?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe.
Forgot that until this very moment. Back in the day, people were like happy to get something like this on Nintendo 64 or any of these on Nintendo or Super Nintendo games. I love those. I'm just going crazy here now, but Super Empire Strikes Back. I don't know where you got this one, but I was in my Star Wars phase big time then, and I had a red notebook. I think I've talked about this on these videos before, but I had a red notebook with all the codes, and I'd like come home from school and just play, and wake up on my days off and just play. I think that's the first game I've ever actually finished because I liked it so much, and it's difficult.
That game's so hard. I never beat that one.
Yeah, I couldn't do it nowadays, I'm sure.
It's just weird. There's a game that you beat that I haven't.
Yeah, it's a good feeling. Is this how you feel all the time?
Yeah.
And I tried this one recently, the Indiana Jones, by the same people who did the Empire Strikes Back, and this is all 3 movies in one. And I got to like the first part of Temple of Doom, and I couldn't. Or I just haven't gotten back to it, so maybe one day.
Yeah.
But I just feel like I got very excited right then talking about those old ones. But that's how it was back in those days. Like, you'd just take especially as kids, you'd just, a movie I like is a video game. You'd spend more time with it.
Yeah, and even if the game was bad, you still loved it because it was a movie you loved.
Right. Like, Temple of Doom is very bad these days, but we loved it as kids.
Yeah, we did.
Like,
all we did was like swing between.
Yeah.
And like ride in those little mine carts.
Yeah, we didn't like try to do any kind of beating it. We just
just played around.
Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Seeing Indiana Jones on the screen doing his Indiana Jones stuff.
Yeah, you couldn't really even tell it was Indiana Jones, but
no,
they said it was, so we made it believe.
Yeah.
We made believe it was.
Mm. And it had the good tune there, the Parade of the Slave Children or whatever it's called, by John Williams.
Yeah.
I mean, it was the 8-bit version, but
an 8-bit entertainment system.
Yeah, but it was still Indiana Jones.
Yeah, they could do a lot with the 8-bit versions back in those days. They did what they had to. What they had. I don't know what I'm trying to say now.
No one knows.
Then another game I didn't bring in was the Star Wars on the Game Boy.
Oh, yeah.
That was fun. I didn't ever get past the caves looking for R2 or...
Didn't you have the Phantom Menace on the 3DS or something?
Yeah, Game Boy Advance, I think.
Game Boy Advance, yeah.
I might have, or...
It's very advanced.
Just the Jedi.
Or the pod racing game there.
Yeah, I have that one. We talked about that one a little bit.
Yeah.
Diddy Kong Racing. And what else? Lord of the Rings, I had the 2 towers, but I didn't get too far in that one. And I have like some sort of turn-based Lord of the Rings game that I couldn't get too far in because, I don't know, turn-based just seems like the weirdest style of fighting.
Yeah.
To me anyway, because if you're like damaged and not powerful enough to beat the enemy and you're locked in that battle, that's the problem I had. Maybe there's some way to get out of it. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
never played turn-based games.
No.
They're just not fun for me.
I wouldn't recommend it, but that's just me. I don't know. I know.
There's a lot of people that love them though. So.
Right. I'm not talking bad about them. It's just not my type of game.
No, mine neither. I like to be in the action and actually be able to fight and move around and whatever. We're going on a tangent here.
I'm sorry, this is becoming a speech.
But like I said, there are a lot. Like there's Rampage, I think The Rock is in.
Oh yeah.
And never seen that one.
Yeah.
Doom, like I said. There's so many of them.
Yeah, and there'd be times when you like hear about it for years and then nothing will come of it, or like Uncharted, you'd keep hearing different things. Like Mark Wahlberg was going to be Nathan Drake at one point, and Joe Pesci was going to be his dad, I think. And
that would be weird.
There was one time when Bryan Cranston was going to be Sully, and I would like to see that.
Yeah, me too.
And I don't know, Chris Pratt would be a good Nathan Drake if we're...
I think if they do make another one, just recast both of them. Mm-hmm. Get rid of Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg.
Right.
And just bring new in and just start fresh.
Yeah.
And just start with like the first game.
Yeah.
I still don't think those two are good as Nathan Drake and Sully.
No. They're good in other roles.
Yeah, they're good in other roles, but they definitely shouldn't have been in Uncharted.
No. I don't know what they were thinking with that.
I don't either. They probably thought both of them were popular and people would like it.
Wrong.
That was a problem. There's like Tom Holland was like the it boy for Hollywood for a while. Like he was Spider-Man, then they put him in that, and they want to use him here and there and everywhere. And now he's not doing anything. Same with Chris Pratt. He was like real hot at one point.
So hot right now.
I don't know. That just happens with stars from time to time, I guess.
Yeah. But I couldn't say that I could have cast it any better, but,
No.
you know, I'm not paid a lot of money to cast people in movies, so I
Right.
have a pass on this one, I think. At least I hope so.
Yeah, but they're a step in the wrong direction there, big time.
Yeah, the Uncharted movie was definitely a misstep. They could have made that way, way better.
Yeah, they had a lot to work from, and like I said, they took parts from all the games and put it in there instead of just making it one of the games with people who would be good in the roles.
Yeah.
It was a good plan. It worked. It didn't work. It didn't work.
Yeah, the games are pretty much like movies nowadays, so it'd just be adapting and cutting parts out so it wasn't so long.
Right, and less,
And then-
because there's a lot more gunfighting in the games.
Yeah.
So take some of that out too.
Yeah, there was one gunfight at the end of Uncharted.
I will say Chloe was cast good. I think she did a good job.
Yeah.
Chloe?
It wasn't just some person, like, really popular at the time person like Zendaya.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's kind of what they need.
right,
Just like the Zelda game, I hope they don't go with like popular actors at the time.
right.
I hope they just go their own way, and I'm not going to get into this again, but
Yeah, and the big thing is everyone's wondering if Link's going to talk. I'm thinking he's going to have to.
yeah.
Like, you can't have a movie where the main character doesn't say a word. That's just, in the games he doesn't, so you can, like,
Yeah, you can like put yourself in his place like you're him.
right, watching a movie is different. You're not going to, I mean,
Yeah.
some people probably,
And Link does talk in the games, we just don't hear it.
like, anytime they ask a question and give you the options, that's him talking,
Yeah.
pretty much. And they do now do, like, the animation of him
Yeah, like moving his hands and
moving his head and mouth, I think, so like he's talking. But
yeah. But we just don't hear it. So he does talk. It's
Right.
just we don't hear him talk.
most people, like, call back to the cartoon where he's talking, but he's like, "Excuse me, princess,"
Yeah.
and I don't think they'd do that again. So I don't think people have anything to worry about.
Yeah,
there.
they're definitely not going to make him like he was in that cartoon.
No,
Which I think gets a lot more flack than it deserves. That cartoon was pretty good.
yeah, it was good.
I mean, it was definitely 80s and weird, but
Yeah, I like they used a lot of the sound effects from the game. And the
yeah, me
music.
too.
I like that.
And I like how they explain why the enemies go away, but then like they always come back.
Yeah,
They did that in there. And they showed how he carries all his gear.
Mhm.
So that was good. The cartoon did a lot of good stuff.
yeah. It seems like back in the day they were better at doing adaptations. I don't know why I struggled
Back
with
in the
that.
day, I don't know. I think they're getting better at it now than they ever were.
Well, these are some examples of in that cartoon you were just talking about.
Yeah.
Yes.
Agree to disagree.
But, I mean, they have the Mario movie. They have that fighting game there that they made into a movie, back in the 80s or 90s.
Street Fighter,
Street Fighter, I think.
Mortal Kombat.
Or maybe one of those.
Yeah, I don't think that one did too well though.
But, I mean, the Mario movie, that was good. And the Zelda movie they're coming out with, I bet it's going to be good. I can't say for sure,
Right.
having not seen it yet. Miyamoto's involved, and he's been working on it for years, so he
Yeah.
doesn't usually put out junk.
Yeah, and like we said a couple of times, The Last of Us is one of the best adaptations I've ever seen of a game to a movie or to a TV show,
Yeah,
to a live
definitely.
action thing.
Yeah, and that came out recently.
Yeah, I watched that 4 times.
Yeah,
It's so good, and I can't wait for the second season.
I can't either. I can and I can't. I know it happens, and I really don't want to see that on screen.
Yeah, I hear you.
But it'll be good either way.
So good.
But then that's also an example of like great casting for the.
Yeah, that was great casting for The Last of Us. Like, everyone they picked was perfect for the parts they played.
Right, and I like that the people who did the voices in the game were in the show
Yeah, they
as
were in the
different
show.
people.
Yeah. They didn't like it so much. I know the girl that talked for Ellie wanted to play Ellie,
Yeah,
but she was like 30 or more at the time.
yeah, that makes sense. She was also in the Avengers. Captain America saved her.
Captain America saved my life.
With the shield.
Yeah, probably. Was apropos of nothing, but we were
Yeah.
talking about Ashley Johnson, so I figured I'd say.
Yeah. Alright, so I think that's about all I have to say.
Yeah.
I gotta put all this stuff back now.
Yeah, me too, in my games.
Yeah. Alright, so let us know what you think. Let us know if there's any adaptations we missed or any you any that you would love to see, like, comment, and subscribe. There'll be an orb over here. Pick one of these 2 videos, and we'll see you in the future.
To talk more about the past.